What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to this episode of BG Pick'ems presented by KFR Sportscast. And this week we are going into week 16 of the NFL picks. This week I have Big Sexy's picks along with me, so they will be posted right here next to me. So if you want to follow along with my picks as well as Big Sexy's, they'll kind of be posted up here in this general area. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the Thursday night game, we have the Denver Broncos going into LA to play the Chargers. The Chargers coming off of a tough loss against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you haven't watched my recap of that video, go ahead and watch it. Denver been looking really good this year. I've said it from the beginning. Bo Nix and Sean Payton, good combination. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. And just like Tim McGraw, I want some more of it. So go ahead and give me Bo Nix over the Chargers on Thursday night. Next up, we have the Houston Texans playing the Kansas City Chiefs on a Saturday special. So we got two Saturday night games, and this is our first one. Our Saturday games. Sorry, not Saturday night. So a lot of you will probably be watching college football, but if you're tuning into the NFL, you can tune into one of these two games. And so this is the Texans and the Chiefs. Is Patrick Mahomes going to play? He's got a high ankle sprain from that Browns game. I think all leads are saying that he will play. If he does play, I think the Chiefs win this game. If he doesn't play, Carson Wentz as the backup. Could Houston give Carson Wentz some trouble? Probably. But give me the Chiefs here to win this game. All right, the next Saturday matchup that we got is a divisional game. The Baltimore Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh coming off of a tough loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Baltimore Ravens coming off of a dominant win over the New York Giants last week. This is going to be a good game. Pittsburgh took the first one, and Russell Wilson's been playing really well. I still don't think they have a George Pickens, but the big news is that TJ Watt will be out. So that could be a definite helping factor for Baltimore's offense. So give me Baltimore to have to continue winning and split the series between the two teams. All right, next up on Sunday, we have the Giants the Giants going into Atlanta to play the Falcons. Falcons coming off of a big win against the Raiders. They've been in a slump, but the Falcons going and starting Michael Penix Jr. instead of Kirk Cousins. So they're benching Kirk Cousins. Who knows who's going to be the starting quarterback for the carousel that is the New York Giants. You know, you spend a first round top 10 draft pick on Michael Penix Jr. We'll see what he can do. I'm going to give Atlanta the win here. All right, next up we have a Thanksgiving rematch between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. This time it's going to be in Chicago. I don't think it's a different result, though, because I think the Lions are going to be playing pissed off after losing to the Bills, which was a phenomenal game, by the way. Caleb Williams just looks like he doesn't want to play football anymore. It looks like college was his peak. There has been no progression. There's been no advancement in his development. So this year, as there has for other rookie quarterbacks. So go ahead and give me the Detroit Lions here. All right, next up we have the Arizona Cardinals going into Carolina to play the Panthers. Last week I picked the Panthers. Probably shouldn't have done that, I guess. They definitely proved me wrong. So I'm not going to pick them this week and see if they win. But I'm going to pick the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, I still think, have a chance to win the NFC West. They just got to keep winning, and they need some help. So give me the Arizona Cardinals. All right, next up, we have two great quarterbacks that were great, respectively, at one point in time. Matthew Stafford's still pretty great. Aaron Rodgers, not so much. So we got the Rams going into Jersey to play the New York Jets. This is, this is a game that the Rams need to win to stay in first place, and the Jets at this point probably aren't playing for anything. They're already eliminated. At this point, they're probably just playing to knock people out of the playoffs, just to play, playoff cock block. But give me the Rams to win this game. All right, next up we have a great matchup, and a matchup that I thought should have been flexed into the Sunday night slot, honestly, which is the Philadelphia Eagles going into Washington to play the Commanders. Now, I believe they've already played once, and if I'm not mistaken, Philly won the first game. I feel like this game could go either way, but I feel like Washington is kind of plateaued a little bit. So give me Philadelphia to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington did come out with like a field goal win or something, but I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this game. All right, next up we have the Browns and the Bengals. So we got a Paul Brown rivalry matchup. This one taking place in Cincinnati. I want to say this is the first matchup between these two, but I'm not quite sure. But the Bengals need this game desperately if they want any chance at the postseason. I mean, Joe Burrow has been playing out of his mind. If it wasn't for their defense, Joe Burrow would be an MVP candidate right now. So give me the Bengals to win this game. All right, next up we have the Tennessee Titans going into Indianapolis to play the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think this game has any playoff implication for either of these teams. Maybe for other teams. Tennessee has looked bad. Will Levis has looked bad. Almost, I want to say, maybe worse than Caleb Williams. Give me Indianapolis to win this game. I think, they may just be a better team. I mean, they have better pieces, at least. Kicking off the 4 o'clock window, we have the Minnesota Vikings going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. Seahawks coming off of a tough loss against the Packers. Is Geno Smith going to play? I know Sam Howell came into the game last Sunday night. Minnesota coming off of a dominating victory over the Bears. This game could be fun if it's Geno Smith. If it's Sam Howell, then the Vikings win. So let me just go ahead and assume that Geno Smith will not be playing, and I'm going to say the Vikings. All right, next up, we have the Patriots going into Buffalo to play the Bills. The Patriots will be 2 out of the last 3 games for the Bills. Interesting thing here, if the Bills can still get the number 1 seed, Kansas City needs to continue to lose. If for some reason the Bills and Kansas City end up tying in record, the Bills hold the tiebreaker because they beat them earlier in the season, gave them their first loss actually. I would assume with the way that the season is going to go, Josh Allen will continue to play even into week 18. So I'm going to say Buffalo wins this game, but Josh Allen has to be hands down the MVP. If Josh Allen does not win the MVP, we riot. I don't know everybody riots if it's not him, because he is, in the last 3 weeks, has I think like 11 or 12 or 14 total touchdowns between rushing, passing, whatever, over 1,000 yards and 0 turnovers. Incredible. This is an incredible stretch. I mean, this whole season has been incredible for Josh Allen. So give me Buffalo to win this game and pretty easily. All right, next up we have the Turd Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars going into Vegas to play the Raiders. This doesn't have any playoff implication, but this may have draft implication. The Jags, I think, need to lose if they want to continue to try and reach a number 1 spot. The Raiders probably want a high pick. Give me a tie between these two teams. I don't even want to pick a winner because they both deserve to just lose. So give me a tie. All right, next up we got the San Francisco 49ers going into Miami to play the Dolphins. San Francisco has looked, I mean, they have not been impressive all season, really. They have not, and continue to not look like they were the number 1 overall seed last year in the NFC. You would think that they're in a complete rebuild process. It's shameful, honestly. Miami has increasingly looked better. I think they have a little win streak going since Tua's been back. Maybe. Miami, they're playing at home, so that's definitely an advantage for Miami. They don't have to go into any cold weather. Give me Miami to win this game. All right, and next up, we have the Sunday night matchup, which is a game that I thought should have been flexed out for the Washington-Philly game, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into Dallas to play the Cowboys. If you watched my one-on-one with BG episode, I said that if we play our defense like we did in the second half against the Chargers, we should easily win this game. So I'm not going to go into deep detail about this game, other than the fact that I think Mike Evans needs to average about 84 yards per game for the next 3 games to reach 1,000, so he can have his 11th straight season with 1,000 yards. So go ahead and give me the Bucs here. And closing out Week 16, we have our Monday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints going into Lambeau Field to play the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay coming off of a great win against Seattle, and the Saints coming off of I don't even know. I can't even tell you who they played last week. Honestly, I didn't watch that much football. Green Bay to win this game. The Saints have no. Just no. Green Bay is going to win this game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that wraps it up for this week's episode of BG Pick'ems, brought to you by KFR Sportscast. I want to thank you for tuning in to these picks. And again, this also hosted Big Sexy's picks, or Sexy Picks by Big Sexy. Unfortunately, Big Sexy is not feeling well this week, so I decided to go ahead and offer up my episode to him as well. So make sure you feel better, Big Sexy. We look forward to maybe hearing from you next week on Week 17. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. You can catch these episodes on YouTube every week, or you can take them wherever you want with Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, if you want to listen to them into the car ride on your way to work or way home. we are here for you. So with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been BG and BG Pick'ems. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.